Well, hello and welcome to another video of this coroutine playlist. So I reckon this is going to be the last video of this playlist. Now there are a few things left to mention, and one more important topic is left as well. So to start with, let's talk about run blocking function. So run blocking it basically launches a coroutine just like we use global scope.launch function, and run blocking launches a coroutine inside a main thread. So now if I write global scope dot launch and I launch this in using dispatches dot main, and this will also launch coroutine in the main thread. So what is the function? What is the difference between run blocking and dispatches.main? This will also launch a coroutine on main thread, but this coroutine will act as a asynchronous. Whatever code we write in here will execute it asynchronously, and it will not affect the running of the main thread. It will not block the main thread basically. And in run blocking function, when it launches a coroutine on main thread, whatever we write until it is executed, it will block the main thread. So we cannot access, we cannot change the UI of the system, of the application, until the code here is run. So it basically blocks the main thread. Another thing is whenever we create a coroutine, it will always return a job. So we can save a job in a variable like suppose like this. So it will always return a job. And yeah, basically just keep that in mind, and you can call different functions like job.join. So you can join two coroutines. As what it will do is that whatever code we write in here, until it is executed, once this is executed, then only this code will run. And you can also cancel the coroutine in between. Like suppose I have a code that here that takes let's say suppose delay 5,000. So it takes 5 seconds to execute this code. So suppose I want to stop this code at 2 seconds. So what I'll do is I'll write delay 2 seconds here, and I'll call job.cancel function here. So it will stop this job, this coroutine, after 2 seconds. So yeah, basically that's how you use this job variable. You can call join, cancel, and do other stuff here. Now let's talk about async await. So when we want to call more than one function in a coroutine, it will be executed one after another. So let me just grab that coroutine back. Let's say I have two different functions, like function 1, and this is, by the way, is a suspend function. So just imagine that. So and I have function 2, and when I write this kind of code, what happens, it will first execute function 1 and then it will execute function 2. So it takes more time to execute. But suppose we want to call more than one function, like two functions in a coroutine simultaneously. We want these two functions to be executed at once alongside each other simultaneously. We can use something called async await. So let's first create these two functions. So I'm just gonna go outside this on create function, and I'll create suspend function. Sorry, suspend function 1, and this will return a string, and I'm just gonna call delay function, so it takes a bit time, and I'll just delay it for 2 seconds, and I'll just return a string. This is function 1, and I'll just copy this function. I'll create another function named function 2. It will delay for 2 seconds as well, and it will return this is function 2. So now when I call these functions here, okay, let's measure the time it takes to execute. So what I'm gonna do is I can write the code like, well, t equals to measure time in different. Okay, let's just count times in millis, and let's call this function inside this, and I can log the time. So log day, and I'll just write t. So let's see how many seconds it takes. So ideally, what we want to do is that we want to call these two functions simultaneously. So this function takes 2 seconds and this function takes 2 seconds. So what we want these two functions to be executed within 2 seconds. So let's see how much time does this code take. Okay, so as you can see, it takes 4,000 milliseconds, which is 4 seconds in total, as I expected, because this function takes 2 seconds to be executed, and this function takes 2 seconds to be executed. So in total, it takes 4 seconds. So, but we want this to be executed simultaneously. So when we use, we can use async await here, but when we use async, it will return a differ instead of a job. Simply, when we call some coroutine, it should return a job. But async function returns, it also creates another coroutine. By the way, async function creates a coroutine, launches a coroutine, but instead of job, it returns something called defer. And we can use this defer to get the result out of the function that we have created. So let's write this functionality here. So I can write a variable 1 equals to, and I can call a sync block here. So async, it will launch a coroutine, but it will return a differ instead of a job. So I can call that function 1 here. So function 1, and I can write val 2 equals to async, and I can write function 2. Now we want to display the result of these two functions. Let's see what it returns. Let me just minimize the logcat. So it returns these two strings. So we want these strings. We want the result of these two functions. So how we can do that? So basically, we can let's just log here, because we just it just returns a string, so we can display this string only. So we can take the return value by writing 1 dot await. So what it will do, await will pause this coroutine, this entire coroutine, until we have value of this one variable. We have some values, which value we expect is the return value of this function. So once this function returns something and it saves in this variable, it pauses it waits to this variable to have some value, and until that it pauses the entire coroutine. And let's just copy this and replace this one with 2. So we use async to launch coroutine, but it returns a differ, so we cannot directly access the return value of this function with this one. Instead, we have to call await to catch the defer value, as it doesn't return a job. And now let's see how much time this whole code takes, because it took 4 seconds to be executed before, but now it should take 2 seconds as we expected. So let's run our application and see how much time it does take this time. As you can see, it returned this is function 1 and this is function 2, and it took 2000 milliseconds, which is 2 seconds, which means these two functions called simultaneously, which we expected. So this is how you use async and await functionality of coroutine, and it is very handful when especially in the network calls. Sometimes you need to call two APIs at the same time, and you don't want one API to be executed and then you need to call another API. Instead, you can call both APIs at the same time because you need those APIs to be called at the same time in your project. So at those kind of situation, async await is it feels like in heaven. It's a great functionality of coroutine, and that's why I love coroutine very much in Kotlin. So I think that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next video, and please, if you like this video, please give a like and subscribe to the channel and press that notification bell, so whenever I post a new video you get the notification. And please, if your friend is interested in learning Android development, please recommend this channel to him as well. It will teach him from the basic to the advanced. I'm planning few tutorials in future that will help you to be, if you know the basics, it will help you to be good, to advance your level in Android development. So please subscribe to the channel and press that notification bell so you can get the notification whenever I post a new video. I'll see you guys in the next video.